Another tool of tax planning and tax reduction is known as deferral. One way of deferring income or taxes is by doing a 1031 exchange if you're going to sell property or trigger capital gains. So, what a 1031 exchange is, and you might have heard this, is it's whenever you're selling investment property or business use property and you're able to roll it over into a new investment. So a few little tricks of this is that it has to be real property, and real property means land or buildings, and then it also has to be business use. So if you're using a personal house, and let's say the house is really appreciated in value, you're not able to sell that personal residence unless you turn it into a rental first. So if you turn it into business use first, we might be able to roll it over into a new property. A few little catches of a 1031 exchange is that you have to roll all of the value over into a new property that is business use. We also cannot reduce the amount of debt or take cash out. So let's say you're selling a house for $600,000. You need to take that whole $600,000 and invest it into a new property. And if you had a $400,000 mortgage, you need to keep at least $400,000 of mortgage. You can buy a property that is more expensive, however, you cannot go less. If you do that, it will trigger some gains. So something to look at and calculate. But the nice thing about this is we know that, hey, we had a rental house, the neighborhood's not that great, or we're just moving away or not wanting to deal with that anymore, or maybe invest in a new office building or a strip mall center or something like that. We can sell this one property and roll those funds over into a new one. However, these are complicated transactions and do need an intermediary or professionals to help you walk through the steps. But 1031 exchanges are a great way to defer income and not trigger taxes at that time, especially if you have a low basis due to depreciation or buying the property before it's skyrocketed in value. Something to think about as you are looking at your tax situation and thinking about making moves. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out, do some research, or hit like and subscribe, and we're going to have more information coming your way.